Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to go over the Hope Tree. So Hope Tree for Season 17 was reworked and it's kind of difficult to make it work in terms of PvE. For PvP, it's quite simple and I think it might evolve even further, but so far it seems quite simple, especially to me. But for PvE, it's quite complicated and I haven't seen any major changes when investing into some of these nodes right here. So I have only made one PV tree that I think works, and that's what I'm going to guide you towards. So for the PV node, there is first node that is going to be going full left side, going full energy. So you want this is initial energy. This does not generate energy every round. So this is what they have reworked. This now doesn't ever regenerate energy, it's just initial starting energy. So you need to have few nodes on the right side to actually generate energy now in season 17. So for the first position blessing number 1, I have full initial energy going into flat attack increases. Flat attack increases are a must-have because they have removed the hunters and any kind of flat scaling, so you really don't need to have some kind of flat scaling. Unfortunately, there is no HP, so this is going to be maybe a more of a bursty meta, but this is the only thing I have found using for PvE that works. The right side is for PvP, consuming 100 energy or 60 at max level to remove all control effects from all allies is really good. You can make, I believe, more than 60 or more than 120 energy in a single round if you go full right side tree. So you can perhaps trigger this even twice, but to trigger this you need to do action. So no longer you gain energy by being stunned like before. You now actually do have to perform action, and multiple actions or other combo hits do count. So heroes like Arcane Dorabella, Narissa, Aphrodite, any kind of spammer like Pandora will be able to generate you insane amounts of energy per round, whereas in before this didn't work, it was only once per hero's turn. So now you can actually consume insane amounts of energy, but if you're CC'd, you will not be able to. So to consume this and debuff, remove the control effects, you have to move first. So this is why I think this will not work confidently, but I think it will be usable to some extent. So for the PvE, let's talk about that purely now that I have explained how energy gaining works. This is true for every single node, apart from the X node. So first PvE side is going to be left on position blessing number 1, all on energy and all on the gains. Later, once it's late to the season, you will also max this one out. Position number 2 is exactly the same, but you're going to be getting percentage attack instead of flat. So this is also mandatory, full on energy into additional percentage attack scaling, and later on you will max this one out if you're going to be running left side on position 1 and position number 2. I believe these two should be always run together, so they benefit one each other obviously. As for the right side on position number 2, it's when taking damage, consume 100 energy to negate the damage and convert 10% of it into attack. This was in the past, also in the past season, so I have tested it in the past and it was not good, it was not reliable. And yeah, overall I didn't really like it, I wasn't satisfied with it. But in the Note 2 you have dodge increase, which is really good, but then again just increasing your attack by flat is superior. So I believe that position blessing 1 and 2 is always going to be left side, irrelevant whether you go for PvP or PvE, that's my suggestion. And we have initial energy 50 by just starting the battle, and then X will actually increase that further because the X nodes both left and right increase the energy gain effect of allied heroes by 50%, so we will be getting even more energy later on. But yeah, so far position 1 and position 2 I believe should be going full left side whether you're going for PvP or PvE. Now to go about the position blessing number 3, I believe it's going to be right side all day whether it's PvP or PvE, because increasing defense for all allies is useless. As we know, defense is the most useless stat in the game, and you don't really need initial energy, so because you have it in position 1 and position 2, so you can go and max out the sharp blade for the additional energy per action and put your spammers in position number 3. The second node is increasing accuracy, which is very important for the PvP, so you will be wanting to get that as fast as possible. And then you will not want to increase the grace of hunters, because fortitude, as we know it, is the most useless effect in the game, countered by the Phoenix or any kind of execute. So majority of the players in PvP already have a 3-star Phoenix, and that's all you need to counter fortitude, unless they have reworked this and it no longer counters, and in that case it will be really strong, really broken to apply it every round. Your heroes will never die, but I don't think they have updated that to work. I didn't test, but feel free to test it and see whether it's working or not against execute. My assumption is it's not. So yeah, conclusion on position blessing number 3 is there's no really any kind of node that is worth going apart from the node number 1 and node number 2, aka the middle, for the accuracy rate. Everything else is pretty much useless. So when it comes to this node, just max out the energy and then later come back to max out accuracy when you start doing competitively in PvP. Position blessing number 4, in my opinion, is going to be always right side, because physical damage reduction is as useless as any kind of damage reduction, and on top of that is as useless as defense. Not as useless as defense, defense is its own tier, but yeah, it's pretty bad. So always going to be right side, no matter if you're PvP or PvE enjoyer, you're going to be right side always. You have some damage reduction, which is really nice. Then again, it won't really do much for you, because there's also damage boost, which naturally counters each other. So if you go up against someone with damage boost, which you probably will, you will just negate each other and there will be no gain at all. So just max out the energy and ignore everything else. Last node is consumes 100 energy to convert 10% of healing received into attack up to 100 million attack, which is up to 300 I believe at max, which is not bad, but it's really RNG. You have to time the energy gain perfectly with the heals, and this will be possible to min-max, I believe, with some additional calculations on energy to perfectly match the speed cast of every hero and etc, etc. So I believe this will be usable and possible to min-max into later insane scalings for the PvE. But so far I don't think anyone will do it, but I don't think anyone has the energy to actually do it. But yeah, I would keep this as a possible PvE stat that will be broken if somebody puts time into it. But so far, just ignore it. You don't need it for PvP. It's useless in there. So yeah, just full right side on the energy gain, and later on put some points into damage reduction once you have access points in the hope tree. Lastly, position blessing number 5 when it comes to positions. So we have the right side against left side. Left side is magic damage reduction, same goes for the physical damage reduction. Absolutely useless, don't waste your time into it, it's bad. So this skill right here, node number 3, is when enemy heroes cast active skill, consume 100 energy to redirect their target to themselves. This is Leviathan. Leviathan, I have tested this skill. So if it's an AoE hit, it will hit the other 4, but it will not hit the main target the hero is facing. So, and it will reflect the damage back, but this is kind of useless because majority of heroes are AoE. So if you just redirect or save one hero, it's not gonna matter much for 100 energy. You might kill them back, but the odds are very unlikely. So in my opinion, it's a good skill, but I wish it worked on all allies. So once a skill is cast, it just automatically saved from all allies, not just one. And yeah, overall good, potentially usable node, but in my opinion, I prefer having X node over it. So I'm going just full on energy and full on damage boost and calling it a day for the position blessing number 5. Same goes for the PvE and PvP. Then we have position blessing number X. So this position is actually the one you pick for PvE or PvP. Left side is PvE, crit damage increase every 10% energy. So if you care for Rift Odyssey or any kind of PvE like tombs or etc, go for the left side. If you care for PvP, go for the right side. At the start of each round, consume 60 energy to apply silence to all enemies for one round. This is pretty broken in my opinion. Yes, it might be countered by this one right here, but this triggers randomly when you gain enough energy to proc it, whereas this triggers at the start of each round. So it will be kind of tricky to actually get it to counter it, but it's definitely possible. If you want PvP, full on right side, full on energy, absolutely must have. Leech rate is nice but not needed, and the skill silence to trigger it as fast as possible. Then we have left side for the PvE, as I said. When it comes to synergy mark, as always, as every season, when you have access tokens, just upgrade as needed, possibly the Dooms first because of the Babylon for the Extreme 100, and then any other synergy that needs the upgrade for them. Mostly it's probably the Dooms into Glorians, I believe, or Ethereals, but yeah, you will see by the Extreme 100 clear records. So yeah, that was it for the Hope Tree. That's my opinion on it. So full left side, I will post the full screenshot here right now for the PvE and then later for the PvE. So full left side on these for the PvE and then right side for the PvP, and then X is the only difference because you want full left side for PvE and then full right side for PvP. So it's pretty much only position X that is different to any other position. And yeah, when it comes to the season mode, just if you're a beginner, go outside nodes first, so you can clear primeval around first. If you're a guild player, go for the guild skills. If you're a tombs enjoyer, go for the tombs, but if you're a newbie, you won't. And then yeah, it's pretty self-logical. Whatever you're focusing on, just upgrade these, and don't work on these like one here, one here, one here. Always max just one and focus on that boss, and then yeah, just work it that way. Don't split the focus because the max gain is really different when it comes to maxing it out. So yeah, when you max it out, the bonuses are kind of insane. So just focus on maxing one at a time and then work on the other, and make sure that you're attacking the corresponding boss that requires its counters. And primeval realm 3 is self-explanatory, just upgrade whatever you can, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's the Hope Tree for me personally. It was kind of rough to test it and kind of rough to figure it out, but it turns out there's no like very good PvE side, there's good PvP sides, and I think it will keep on getting better as people figure it out in the future. Thank you for watching and see you guys in the next one.